Okay. Good morning, Sam. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing fine.
What brings you to this office today?
Well, I've been feeling a little depressed lately.
Mhm.
Ever since I've had my fifth kid child, my husband has been complaining that I'm not taking care of myself and I stay home and I'm not doing anything with the kids anymore.
Mhm.
I really don't feel like doing anything with them more than, do whatever is needed. My husband said I haven't been taking a shower. I have not been maintaining the house. I've basically gone into like depression, he says.
Mhm. And how long has this been going on?
It's been going on about 6 months after I gave birth, but I think it's getting worse. And I think it's now 8 months. My baby's now 8 months old, and it's not getting any better.
Mhm. Have you been having any other symptoms? I know you mentioned you've been very depressed, poor hygiene. And before I continue, I would like to let you know that in this office, everything we discuss will be very confidential, and it's not going to get out of this office. Okay, so having that in mind, have you been having any other symptoms at all, like anxiety and sleep-wise?
No, my sleep has been on and off. Yes, it's a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
Just feeling sad. Not able to focus on anything that I'm doing, just wanting to actually, I want to sleep a lot off schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's basically what's been going on.
Okay, and have you ever felt like this before?
Um, no, this is my fifth child, and I guess this is what happens when you have 5 kids.
Mm-hmm. And do you drink or do you do any drugs at all?
No,
Mm-hmm. And do you have any family history of drug abuse or drinking?
um, no.
Mm. And have you had any suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideation?
No, I haven't. No,
And have you had any family members with suicidal thoughts or ideation?
no family members with anything suicidal that I know of.
Okay. And do you have any other medical problems you think would be impacting you and leading to this?
No, I had gestational diabetes, but that was the only thing I had. And I had the baby, and that was with the second baby. It went away.
Mhm. And do you take any kind of medications at all?
I still take my postpartum medication and some iron tablets, but apart from that, no.
Okay, how would you describe yourself? What?
Presently, I would say I'm not really myself, but um, normally I am outgoing. I usually do something with the kids. Um, Before I had this last baby, I would say every weekend I would take them to the park and we would, find something to do. We would, invite my friends' kids over, and I'd have all 4 kids along with my girlfriend. And we would just do stuff with the kids. I normally would work, but after the fourth kid, I stopped working. And I think Normally, I'd say I'm a happy person. I'm a regular mother, a good mother.
Yeah, and you said you have not been feeling yourself. Could you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Well, compared to what I was before I had the fifth child, I feel like I am just overwhelmed. I feel like I don't have enough time to do anything outside of the children. And then I have to do the housework, and then I have to, take care of my husband and, take care of myself. And then I have to have a life outside of the I don't find much time to do anything. It's like the situation dictates my time. It just tells me what to do. I feel like I'm being led by I don't have any time to decide anything. Child number one, child number two, child number three, child number four, child number five, then myself, then my husband. I just don't have any time.
Yeah, that sounds quite difficult. And, have you ever seen a therapist before for any kind? I know you had okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I've never seen a therapist, so to speak, but I spoke to my church minister one time because I was crying a lot after the third child because I find like I was getting overwhelmed and I feel like my life was changing. So I was talking to my pastor for a while, and he kind of, let me know that he said it was normal. His wife has 4 children and she's always busy, but it's just not my normal self.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned about your family and 5 kids and husband. Uh, do you feel like you have good family support?
Oh, yes, I have good family support. My mom comes over once in a while because she works, and she kind of takes one of the kids, or she may take the 2 younger ones to go shopping, or, you know, but she only does that once in a while. And when she does that, it makes me feel better, but not for long, because I know they're coming back.
And do you belong to any community organizations, or do you have friends that you can talk to?
I used to have friends, and now I don't have time for them, so they don't really bother me anymore because whenever they call and want to do something, I'm always busy. It's always child number 4 or child number 2.
And what do you feel like are your strengths that can really help you out of this problem?
My strengths, the thought that they'll grow up one day makes me think this will go away one day and I'll start feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
My strengths, I used to love to cook, but now I'm cooking, it's like 6 pots on the fire. It's no longer fun.
And can you reflect, like, in your younger life, how was your life back then? Did you have a good upbringing?
Oh, yeah. Back then it was fun. I don't know how my mother did it. She had 8 children. And she was always in the kitchen, but she seemed happy. I mean, she's raised all of us and she went back to work. I don't know how she does that.
Okay, so yeah, that actually gives me a really good picture. Although looks like your symptoms are really, serious, because you seem to be very, very depressed. And one of the biggest things I was worried about is suicide. So are you absolutely sure if these thoughts comes, like suicide or ideation, you will seek help?
Oh, yeah, I will seek help if I ever think I want to end it, but I'm not suicidal. I don't want to end it. These children are going to grow up and go away. Thank God.
Or even if you feel like killing, I mean, killing somebody else or homicidal, thoughts.
No, I don't want to go to jail.
Okay. So I want you to promise me that you will not act on suicidal ideation or homicidal ideation.
Okay.
And if such thoughts occur, I need you to promise me that you will reach out to a crisis worker. I will give you phone numbers that you can call if you start feeling like that.
Okay.
Yes. So part of my plan for you is to include you in therapy. And because you are very depressed, I would like you to come more often. I would say to start maybe for the first 2 weeks, 4 times a week, 1 hour sessions. We have group therapy and we have individual therapy. Which one would you prefer?
Can I bring the baby?
Absolutely. You can bring the baby if it's individual therapy. I don't know. I don't think the baby would like seeing all these faces around. They might get scared.
Okay. I'll see if my husband can keep the baby in the evening. What time?
Actually, I was going to ask you, request if you could bring your husband as well. Like, it does help for him to sit there and listen, because when he goes home with you, he will apply what we discuss in order to help you. Would that be possible?
Okay, I'll see if my mom can keep the baby. Okay, that would be fine.
Okay, great. And because you're very depressed, would you mind signing a 48-hour contract stating that you're not going to harm yourself or harm others?
No problem.
Okay, so, and also on top of that, I'm going to start you on a little bit of medication, just a low dose of Prozac twice a day. Okay.
I'm still breastfeeding, but if that's okay with the baby, that's fine.
Yeah, it will be okay.
Okay.
All right, so we will start our session on which days of the week are you available?
My mom is off on Wednesdays, so if Wednesday is available, that'd be great.
Yes, we would need 4 days a week to start. I mean, for 2 weeks.
Do you have evening sessions? Okay.
Yes.
I'll do it. Okay, we'll do it I'll do it in the evenings.
Okay, great. All right, so thank you. So I'll prepare a list of phone numbers, and you'll get them before you leave, so that this brings us to the end of our session.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.